Finnegan here in a sweltering London, and while everyone else is slowly burning to death here, there's other things that are on fire, particularly a certain artist from Australia with a #1 album, chart-topping singles, and not satisfied with taking over the southern hemisphere, is now taking on the northern one. We have Tori Darke.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. I'm slowly melting. Black is the wrong choice today, I think.
Yeah, look, it's definitely a minimal clothing kind of weather, isn't it?
Yeah, and also I'm wearing a cowboy hat without the brim, which is probably the worst thing to do with in this heat. Yeah.
And it's black.
Everything's black.
You're really just asking for it, aren't you?
Excellent. So how are we finding you today? Have you been in the UK long now, or is it?
Yes, I've been here just over a week. Definitely the heat was an adjustment to the last time I was here. I was here in thermals last time. So definitely not what I expected when I got off the plane and went, oh my God, why is it so hot? Yeah. Aren't we in London?
Where did you come from? Did you come straight from Nashville or Australia?
Yeah, so I actually came straight from Nashville. So I spent 2.5 weeks in the States before coming to the UK. So, I mean, I was used to the heat in Nashville. But it was like the humidity there was like 100% humidity. It was pretty bad. Yeah. But then getting here and then going, oh my God, it's hot here too. What is going on?
But the last time you were here, obviously you wasn't performing. You just here.
I was actually just here for 2 days, just over Christmas. So everything was kind of shut, and it was like Christmas festival sort of season. So I was here for Boxing Day and the day after, and I got to see all the beautiful markets and drink lots of mulled wine and stay nice and warm and rugged up.
Super touristy stuff.
Yeah, super touristy stuff.
But now you're back, and you're back performing. So what's taken so long? I mean, why is it taking so long?
Look, I think just now it feels like the right time. Like country music is absolutely thriving, and especially it's like the UK, it's the biggest growth in country music everywhere. And, it has definitely taken a long time to get here, but I feel like the stars just aligned perfectly, and I'm really, really excited to see what the UK has to offer, and I'm excited to come back here. I know I haven't even played my show yet, but I have already plans for...
Oh, I was going to get onto that later, but obviously you've been performing over a decade, and but to UK fans who are kind of maybe just discovering you for the first time, how do you want to kind of introduce yourself to the UK audience?
Look, I love country music with all of my heart. I love performing. I love what I do. I love writing songs, and I just hope that the UK audience can see that this is just what I absolutely love to do, and I love audiences. I think the best part about what we do is that you get to share live performances and songs that you've written and experiences, and it's like you're just gaining like this extended family, and that's what I love about fans and audiences, because you're seeing like regular people that come to shows all the time, and I'm looking forward to meeting a bunch of new people in the UK, because I've heard that they are some of the most loyal fans, and that they're just die hard for some country music, which we all love.
Well, it's been said before about UK fans that they tend to listen to the lyrics a lot more than, say, American audiences, and there's less woo girls and more focused in.
Yeah, like total fangirls.
And obviously, a lot of your songs focus on certain emotional, I wouldn't say traumas, but moments in life. Yeah. Is that going to affect your set list playing here in the UK?
I think, if anything, it actually probably adds to my set list, because, there's songs that I have written that are quite personal, and then others that maybe have been from experiences or other people in my life that I've sort of written songs about. And, whether it's about love or heartbreak or life or a journey, I love that country music especially tells a story, and that's even more important than when it comes to a UK audience, especially if they are listening more so to those lyrics, because if you're going through a heartbreak and you're singing a song that you wrote from your own broken heart, they're gonna feel that, and I love that. And even a song that I have out currently called Prettiest Wreck was a song I wrote at my lowest. I was an absolute hot mess, and the special part about this song now is that I don't feel like it's my song anymore. I wrote that song at a point in my life where I needed that song, but now that song is everybody else's song. It's their anthem now. It's their heartbreak song, and I think that's what's really cool about country music and writing story songs, because not only do you get to share them, but you get to go, hey, like, this isn't my song anymore now, this is your song now.
So that's a beautiful message to pass on to the audience, and it's a great way to connect with them. And talking about Prettiest Wreck, that's got a history itself, hasn't it? So,
absolutely.
So you wrote that song with the Wolf Brothers, was it? Over 10 years ago?
Yeah, so I actually looked back at like the data, and when we first recorded the voice memo was 10 years ago in
Wow.
Nashville. And, you know, and that just tells the story of a song too, that I wasn't ready to share that then. And, you know, it was a song that I played a lot live acoustically and at songwriter shows. And so many people always said, when are you going to record this song? I was like, yeah, I will. And I think I just never got around to it. And then I was writing new songs, and then you get excited about new songs. And then with this new sort of era of music that I'm in at the moment, I was going back through my back catalogue and going, what songs do we have here and what haven't we recorded and why haven't we recorded it? And, you know, I did a bit of a rework on Prettiest Wreck and changed, you know, the tempo and the instrumentation of what I was thinking, and went in a new direction and went, oh my God, this is why I haven't recorded this song yet, because I was waiting to hear it how it needed to be. And I was hearing it of how I wrote it 10 years ago, but the 10 years later version is completely different.
Yeah,
and
you had to kind of grow into it yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's what's really cool about songs as well, that they have a life of themselves and they can evolve. And, you know, hot tip here is that I've just recorded a bunch of my old songs again, but in a different spin. So, and that's really cool too, because there's now a new evolution of some of these older songs of mine, of giving them a new life and going, this is what they're like, you know, 3 or 4 years down the track, or 10 years down the track, or 20 years down the track. Like,
with the hindsight that you have now to be able to that kind of stuff.
And just doing it differently too, and going, okay, like, well, what does the adult version of Tori, how does she sing this song now, and how would she produce this song, and, you know, or what kind of a take do we have on it now that it's, people have heard it before, but they're going to hear it in a different way, which I think
and also cool. The fans that have been with you since since the start, they probably have their own life experiences to put to that as well. So it's kind of a new way of approaching it. So with the Prettiest Wreck, which is it's a great title, and the video looks a lot of fun, a lot of fun as well. It's going to be the introduction that people are going to hear at the festival this weekend to a lot of fans.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's the big song at the moment. That's the current single, and you know, it's definitely a song that I'm just having so much fun playing live at the moment. And I think I resonate with the song so much more now because I don't feel like it's my song anymore. I feel like I was saying,
that the audience,
I'm really excited to see how people take it in the UK and how they gravitate to that song.
How important is, when it comes to songwriting and kind of deciding what music to either revisit or kind of move forward with, how important is almost not responsibility, but the emotional weight that the audience take from those songs? Do you think about that, or do you just get the emotion down first and see if that kind of connects?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it depends on the song you're writing. You know, sometimes you just want to get it on paper and get it into a song, and you have an idea. And like, I just spent a couple of weeks writing in Nashville, and, you know, I've never written a song about where I come from before. And for the first time ever, you know, I was with a co-writer and he's like, you're from Australia, like, let's write about that. And I just was like, why haven't I done this before? And it was kind of a cool moment that I went, oh wow, like, now I can share this song with my, you know, my fan base back home, but also too, like, made it also universal enough that it could be about anyone's hometown. And I think that's what's really special, is you can think about a song and the ways that it can be perceived differently. So when writing a song, sometimes not so much, but you just want to write it how it needs to be. But then other times you're like, okay, cool, well, how could we write this song but also make it relevant to other people, and how do we capture the biggest audience of the relatability?
Yeah. So,
and
but I think also the fact that it comes from a place of authenticity also lands at home. Country music is all about authenticity. So as long as it's based on true emotion, I think that's how most people connect with it, isn't it?
Yeah.
And talking about kind of the intimacy and kind of putting your emotions on within songs and stuff. And this is your first UK show at a festival. Does that kind of have a different feel to it? Is there a bit more anxiety? Are you a bit more anxious to step on that stage because it's the first and a festival?
Look, there's definitely some nerves there, but a lot of excitement though, because I think too, like, festival gigs are always full band show, high energy. You know, it's not just bearing all where you've got an acoustic guitar and a vocal. And I think not that you can hide behind having a band, but you've got people to bounce off, people to help you have fun on stage. And you've also got this wild, crazy audience in front of you that are there for a good time too. So your job is to make sure that they're having a good time and you're having a good time. And So I think it takes the pressure off a little bit, but you know, stakes are high in anything you do, and I think if there's no nerves, then that's not a good thing either.
Yes. So it's always good to be kind of
like friendly nerves.
Yeah, friendly nerves. Yeah,
friendly nerves.
Creative skills. But again, talking about UK audience versus Australian and American, they particularly sometimes tend to just stand and watch UK audiences. How important is that kind of crowd interaction? You know, if fans are going to be watching this, coming to see you this weekend, do you want them to kind of sing out to you and join in?
At the end of the day, our show is their show. So I just want them all to have a good time. And like, I really want to meet all these people. So I think the biggest part for me is that, like, let's be friends, let's have a good time, and let's create something and make it possible for me to come back year and year and year again.
So is the future, is this like the testing ground, shall we say? If you if you like it and the audience, which I'm sure they're gonna love the performance, but are we going to see more UK shows then?
Yeah, I absolutely hope so. I've decided that I need to escape winter every year and come over here for the summer. Currently
now maybe not. So it's like
but I would love to definitely get back to the UK as often as possible, and just how welcoming the UK has been so far is just out of this world to me. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, now I wanted to ask you this, and you've probably been asked this a million times, and you definitely have been asked this a million times. But because of UK fans maybe finding you to this day, obviously you were a performer, and then The Voice happened.
Yes.
Which how much of that had an effect on your kind of how you perform today? Did you learn things from that maybe you didn't foresee in your career, and almost as a warning to kind of not do those things or set back? Or is it a moment in life that you're kind of proud of and kind of glad that you did it? And then
I think The Voice, I took several emotions away from that experience. It's something I'm glad I've done. I would never do again, but it taught me a lot about myself and a lot about who I am as a person and as an artist. And I think I got a lot out of that personally. Not so much even for my career. I wouldn't have said it made my career or it got me well known. There was a lot of hard work that went into The Voice. I think what came out of that was, okay, cool. Like, I've done The Voice now. How do we push forward, and how do we then focus on the things that are coming next? And that's what I worked really, really hard on, was just the exposure from The Voice was incredible, but how do we capitalize on that? And how do we, now move forward with new Tori Darke music, not just being known for the girl that was on a TV show. Mm-hmm. And I think that was really important to me to have done that, and to have done that journey, and to have learnt from it and grown from it, but then to go, okay, cool. Now, like, what's next? And, that was a really big, like, learning curve for me to just go, okay, cool, like, big girl pants on, let's go and conquer some music, goals and dreams, and let's just make this happen. Like, I never would have thought 2 years ago, stepping onto the Voice stage, that I'd be sitting here with you right now talking about playing my first show in the UK. And I've been to Nashville twice this year, played CMA Fest for the first time, played in Wisconsin for the first time. And, I'm going back to, the rest of the year just absolutely back to back with festivals and shows back home. So it's been a wild couple of years for me, and I think none of that would have happened without that moment of just going, okay, cool, like, I did a TV show, but like, what's next now? Whereas a lot of people will go into those experiences and going, okay, cool, I'm going to be famous, and I'm going to be somebody, and my career's going to thrive. And it doesn't work like that. Like, the cold truth about it all is that you have to put in all the hard work after the show.
Yeah, 100%. And talking to a lot of artists, when the first time they get signed, the biggest mistake is to take your foot off the pedal.
Yeah, they just think that it's going to happen. Yeah. And I think that was the biggest, learning curve for me, was just going, okay, cool, like, let's be prepared for, once this show airs, what's the next move? Do we have shows? Do we have songs? Do we have everything sort of like all of the ducks in a row? And that was really, really important to me, to just push forward and just always have something that was in the pipeline for what's coming next. And we're still doing the same thing now. It's, all right, cool, this single's out now. What's the next single? What's the next project? What's the next body of work? What's happening? So I feel like I've already got the next, like, 12 to 18 months planned. And, I would love to tell everyone, like, everything that we have planned, but it's always planning forward, I think, was a big learning curve.
Yeah, to keep moving forward as well.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
You obviously, the list that you just gave out shows how busy you are. But how does that affect you as Tori Darke? Is there a these are the busy 12 months, let's focus on this, and here's my persona on stage, or Is the person off stage and on stage the same person?
I like to sort of compartmentalize it a little bit. Like Tori Darke is the performer, is the country music artist, the content creator, the all the different things that you see on my socials, which I'm very down to earth and authentic with what I do. I'm not always fully made up. I'm in my gym gear. I'm very transparent of my life and what I do, but I also like to do just my first name is Victoria, so I like to compartmentalize and go, well, this is a Tori job, this is a Victoria job, and just take time and space away from music sometime too, and switch off and just go, okay, cool. Well, this we had a whole week here in the Cotswolds and in the countryside, and that was like, all right, this was holiday mode, like, and then this week
this
was
is
like,
you,
right,
this is just for you,
back to business, and I think it's really important to just like to wear many hats, but also to know when to take which hat off as well, and just be you or be the performer, and
that helps you stay grounded. Then I assume
absolutely.
as well.
It makes you feel like a human too, and you don't feel like you're always just. You don't always, we like to be on, but you don't always have to be on. Like there's moments where you're just going to be like, oh, I just need to switch off today, and I'm going to go get my hair done, or I'm going to go and get a massage, or I'm going to just do nothing and watch television for a day and not feel guilty for it.
Yeah, I mean, that's what a lot of, obviously, the fans see you on stage and performance and stuff. They don't realise how much energy and being on the road. I've been on the road for several months, and you get sucked into that, don't you?
Yeah,
it becomes a whole little micro universe of moving like that. So it's beautiful that the way you've been able to separate those two personalities while still maintaining kind of authenticity.
I think it's really important for any artist or personality just to know when you need to switch things off and when you need to just go, okay, cool, like I'm taking a day off from Tori today. I'm just going to be chilled Victoria. I'm going to eat popcorn and watch a movie at home. Like, it's just really important to take time off because it helps you take a break too, and then you have some of the most creative and like genius ideas of what you could do or what you want to do in your career or
you don't release an album just about California again, which is happens to a lot of artists. You've done a lot of partnerships and stuff like that. Obviously, Trouble with Jay Santilli, sorry. And that's a great success. And stuff. Is there any future collaborations? Are there any UK artists that you'd love to do collaborations with?
Look, there are a few collabs back home in the works at the moment, and then I am definitely looking to do some more collaborations. And we were just having some chats yesterday with possibly doing some UK collabs and things. So,
and you can talk about no,
not just yet, but I'm definitely very excited to see where that could go. And I think that's a really important part of what we do in music and is collaborating. Like you're seeing how other people work, you're working with other people. It's really important for, I would love to bring some more UK artists to Australia. So it's like, hey, cool, let's do a song together and then come out and sing to our audiences, and then I'll come and sing to, the UK audiences. And it's a really cool part of what we do and being able to travel the world and these beautiful countries that we live in to just go, let's do a song together, and then when you're here we can jump up and sing it together, and then it's really cool.
So could we see any country calling on stage collabs, bringing anyone on there is that likely to happen?
Yeah, we actually do have a collab in the works for the weekend. So Outpost Drive.
Fantastic!
Yeah,
they're amazing.
They're incredible, and I'm so excited to finally meet them on the weekend and jump up and sing.
Well, that's going to be a powerhouse explosion on the stage with you and those two.
So it's going to be really exciting, and then just whatever else comes up, I guess. But no, that's going to be a fun one.
Obviously, you mentioned about how UK has exploded with country, and what's great about festivals is obviously they bring Nashville artists and overseas artists like yourself coming over, and then we get to see a host of UK artists coming up. So half of Outpost Drive for the UK and other artists. Are there any artists from back home in Australia that you kind of think that your fans should check out? Stuff that you should. Anything you'd recommend? Look,
there are so many incredible artists back home, and I think we're really lucky because we're in a time where country music is completely booming. I would just say to do a deep dive into Australian country music. We're so lucky to have so many talented people.
Because it's exploding as well, isn't it?
It really is, and not just because we've got a song together, but Jay Santilli is like doing amazing things. Max Jackson, Tyler Rodriguez, Mac Geiger is blowing up everywhere. You know, you've got icons like Lee Kernaghan and the Wolf Brothers and Troy Cassadaly, Casey Chambers. There's Josie, she's a new artist. She's phenomenal. There are so many people I could just rattle off the top of my head. Sarah Berkey, James Johnston, everyone.
We've got a full playlist just there, just in that one sentence.
I'm sure knows and loves him already, and he's playing at Country Calling as well, and he is just a powerhouse. I love James and what he does, and you know, it's really exciting to see so many Australian artists now exporting as well, and coming to the UK or going to the US and playing outside of Australia as well. So I think there's just so much talent back home that the world needs to be exposed to.
Australian country, but so what's next then? As we leave you and see Country Calling this weekend, where are you going to conquer the rest of Europe? Is there a certain country that you kind of want to get your music into?
I was doing a little bit of a dive into the back end of, you know, where my streams are coming from, and I did see that Germany's in, you know, the top 5. So I definitely would like to explore that, and different parts of the UK and different parts of Europe, and just, you know, at the end of the day, wherever the people want the music is where I want to go. Yeah. I think there's so much of
so it's all about the fans, basically.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much of this world to see, and I just...
So if you listen to it, she'll be there.
If you tell me where I need to go, then we'll make it happen.
Well, it's been a pleasure talking to you, and it's going to be an amazing performance this weekend. I can doubt it. No doubt that it's going to be an amazing performance. I don't have to wish you luck there. So, wish you well, and hopefully see you soon, and when you come back again.
Thank you so much.
Cheers.